Welcome to the Self-Belief Podcast, the show that we shift your self-belief in, because self-belief shifting shifts everything. If you ever find yourself stuck in your own head, overthinking, doubting yourself, or craving something when everything you're saying to yourself is negative, I've created an affirmation card pack just for that moment. Affirmations are the things that changed my world. Realizing that I could say positive words to myself about myself was a turning point in my life. These aren't cards that you pick based on how you want to feel. You don't choose. You shuffle and pick one at random. You're not deciding which card to take. You're given the card you need to hear. Each card holds a simple grounding statement that's clear and easy to read to yourself. You read it, you repeat it, and then you say it again. They're designed for you to use when you need them. You can pop the card in your pocket, in your purse, or even in your bag to keep it with you for the day. You can also put it on the fridge, on your computer, or the place that you go to most during the day, reminding you of those words. You use it when you notice your thoughts are going negative, in the morning, during the day, or when your head starts running away with you. If you want to have my affirmation support there for you, the pack's available now. The link's in the show notes, or you can buy from my website, www.jennyfield.co.uk. There are moments in your life where you just know something has got to shift. Not because everything is falling apart around you, and not because of something majorly dramatic, because you're tired of feeling like your mood, your peace, and your stability depends on what someone else does. Welcome back to the Self-Belief Podcast. I'm Jenny Field, your self-belief expert from Just Being Me. Today I want to talk about taking your power back and what that actually means in real life. Because when people hear the word responsibility, they often flinch. They think it means blame. They think it means fault. They think it means they've done something wrong, so they avoid it. Self-responsibility isn't about taking the blame for everything. It's about recognizing where your choice still exists. It's not about what happened before. It's not about what someone else did. It's all about what you do now. When something difficult happens, it's very easy to focus completely on the other person. You replay their words, you go over the tone they use, you'll explain to yourself why they were wrong. You tell yourself that if they had behaved differently, you would feel better now. When you do that, all of your attention stays on them. Your power stays there too. You end up waiting for them to apologise, waiting for them to change, waiting for them to finally understand. Meanwhile, your behaviour stays the same. You keep responding in the same way. You keep having the same conversations, and you keep reacting from the same place. Nothing shifts because you're waiting for them to move first. Self-responsibility is the moment you stop waiting. It's the moment you notice, I may not control what they do, but I do control how I respond. You start to see where you are saying yes when you mean no. You notice where you're explaining yourself when you don't need to. You notice where you step in automatically instead of just taking a pause. That is where your power is. And I learned this in a very real way. For a long time, I expected other people to make me feel secure. I expected them to behave in ways that would make me feel valued or happy. And when they didn't, I felt disappointed. I felt let down. I believed they had caused how I felt. It took me a long while to understand that my happiness was not their job. It was mine. That doesn't mean that other people can just behave however they like. It means that my emotional state is not something they are responsible for managing. And when that clicked for me, everything shifted inside. Nothing outside had changed yet. The same people, the same conversations, the same situations, but I stopped waiting. I stopped telling myself that I could only feel okay once they behaved differently. I started asking, what am I choosing right now? You see this in relationships all the time. You might feel frustrated and think, if they just did this differently, I would feel better. You might hold that thought for weeks, sometimes years. But if you pause and look at your part, you might notice you keep reacting in the same way. You keep entering the same discussion. You keep over-explaining. You keep smoothing things over. The pattern continues because your response continues. It shows up at work too. You might feel overstretched. You might tell yourself your boss gives you too much to do, that the system's unfair. And that may all be true. But you might also notice that you say yes before checking your capacity. You agree before you pause. You take on more when you're already stretched. Again, nothing changes because your response stays the same. Taking your power back doesn't mean becoming hard. It doesn't mean being cold. It doesn't mean controlling other people. It means pausing. It means noticing. It means choosing. Maybe you pause before you answer. Maybe you say less. Maybe you don't step in automatically. Maybe you allow someone else to feel uncomfortable instead of fixing it for them. They're all small shifts, but they change the direction that you're moving in. And here is the part that people don't always expect. When you start responding differently, the pattern around you shifts. Not because you've forced anyone, not because you've controlled anything, but because the old dynamic cannot continue in exactly the same way when you're no longer playing the same part. Sometimes people step up, sometimes they push back, and that tells you something important. Taking your power back is not a big loud thing. It's not a dramatic thing, and it doesn't require a big announcement. It's a quiet shift. It's you recognizing that your response belongs to you. It's you deciding that you're not going to hand your emotional state over to someone else's behaviour. It's self-responsibility without blame. Not blaming yourself, not blaming them. Just choosing your part in what happens next. And that is you starting to take your power back. Thanks for being here with me today. I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening today. If you'd like to know more, you can find all the links down below. Oh, and don't forget to press subscribe so you can catch the next one. See you soon.